Hey guys, welcome back to Life with Mrs. B. Yes, I'm standing in my kitchen holding a big huge bogging thing of mince. Today I am going to show you what you can do if you also, like me, go to Costco and buy a lot of beef mince in one go. Today I bought, well actually last night I bought just over 3 kilos of Aberdeen Angus steak mince, and I'm going to make up a couple of dishes with this. I did have an accident with it. This happened at home, not in the shop, don't worry. The cling film came off the end of it and it's been in the fridge, so this end bit's just went a bit funky, so we're just going to cut that bit off. Don't worry, don't worry. But I'm going to show you what we're going to do to make this, I'm going to wash my hands, to make this into some delicious meals. So today we're going to be cooking some cottage pie, not shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie is made with lamb, my American friends, I'm looking at you. Cottage pie. We're also going to be making some taco meat. We're also going to be doing meatloaf, which I've not done before, and last but not least we're going to do some meatballs. I also have some pork mince to go along with my meatballs, because pork and beef meatballs together are the best. Initially my plan, just drying my hands, was to just buy this big huge hunk of beef and just chop it up into, like, portion it out and then freeze it uncooked. That was my plan, and then I thought, do you know what, I might as well make stuff from it. What kind of YouTuber would I be if I didn't make anything from all that beef mince? So that's how we got into this situation. So today let's just cook a whole lot of food, and I'm going to be freezing all of it, apart from the taco meat. That's going to be for this week. We're going to just eat on that, and yeah, everything else is going to be frozen, so let's go. The first thing I'm actually doing is putting some rice from my rice cooker. I got this basmati rice from Costco and it smells so good, because I'm going to make, along with the tacos, I'm going to make them into kind of like taco bowl type things. So get my rice on in the rice cooker, because this takes about 40 minutes, so hopefully by the time I'm done, this will be done. Am I being optimistic, thinking I'll be done this in 40 minutes? We shall see. And I've also peeled some potatoes and some carrots. I'm going to put them in my Instant Pot, and that is going to be the mashed topping for the cottage pie. I actually already have, let me see that one. Start. I actually already have some mash left over from yesterday, so I don't need lots. Like this plus the carrots plus the leftovers will be perfect. So I'm just dumping all these potatoes in this bowl. Add carrots in, add some water, and some more water. Oops, that splashed. Lid on, 15 minutes, boom. But we're going to need lots of onions. So I'm making 2 meals worth of taco meat, so I'm going to need 2 onions for that. I'm making 2 cottage pies, so I'm going to need 2 onions for that. I'm making meatballs, that needs 1 onion, and I'm making meatloaf. I believe that needs 1 onion. Will I put more than 1 in? So it's a lot of meat. Like, I'm making 1 big meatloaf, but I'm using 2 meals worth of meat, if that makes any sense. The recipe, I've never used this recipe before. I've never made meatloaf before, and the recipe I've got, I'll leave the link to it down below. It says that it serves 8. There's 5 of us in our house, so that's not enough for 2 dinners. So I'm thinking it'll make 1 dinner and then probably leftovers for lunches for the kids the next day. That's what I'm thinking. I've been putting music on my videos recently, or what's that other thing? Like voiceovers. I don't know, it's just so much work, guys. So much work. I prefer it like that. I think it's more professional, but I also like chatting to you guys and just being like, hey, look at me cut onions. See, you miss out on this. This is the stuff like I edit over. You never get to see those bits, or rather hear those bits. Oh, I hear kids. Yes? Do you want me? Hi, Owen. This pan here, this cast iron one, I see it's on TV, is for my taco meat, and this one is going to be for my cottage pie. So I'm just going to cook those onions down, then we'll add some meat. Well, actually we're going to add some carrots to that one, and some garlic to both. whilst that's going on, going down, whatever, I also put some onions in here for my meatloaf. So we'll put that up there. And I have got this onion prepared for my meatballs. But, well, yeah, I should probably get another bowl, shouldn't I? We'll put the meatballs in this bowl. There we go. But yeah, peel these and chop them into smallish pieces, and they'll go in with the onions for the cottage pie. I have got my beef on a tray on top of the scales, and now I'm just gonna, literally I'm just gonna go in with my hands here, right? I know that is disgusting, but I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna take out, it's like brains, what I need to put in my pans. In this pan, the onions have softened, and I've added all that beef with my beef hands. I don't know, that sounds weird. And then back here, I added the carrots to this pot, along with the onions. This is the one for a cottage pie, and this is going to get full. That's why I didn't do it with my frying pan, because I thought the sides would be handy. And then I'm just going to add some beef to this thing as well. And I cut off that not nice bit that had been open to the air. I cut that off, so don't worry. Now we're moving on to the meatloaf. I don't know why I talk weird sometimes. I'm kind of awkward, am I? Why do people watch me? Anyway, so you're going to need some beef, and then I have the onions in here. Then literally, so this website is called Natasha's Kitchen. This is where the recipe's from. And she says that you can freeze this for sure. And she says literally add everything in and then mix it. Okay, so we're going to need, we've got the beef, we've got the onion. We're going to need 2 eggs. 1 egg. And then I'm going to freeze mine on this tray back here. I'm going to put me a bit of like parchment paper or something. And freeze it on the tray. Then once it's frozen, I'm going to wrap it up, because I feel like if I wrap it up, it'll lose some of its shape. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Some garlic cloves. I did get that garlic out, but now I can't really be bothered chopping it, so I'm gonna go with some garlic powder. Then we need 3 tablespoons of ketchup. Okay. I have never made meatloaf before. Like, I've never even ate meatloaf before. Like, it's not a thing that we eat here in Scotland. Like, I don't know anybody that's ever made it. And then once you've done this, you do put like a topping, like a sauce on top. But I'm not going to make the sauce today just because I'm freezing this thing. I thought I would just make the sauce on the day. But her recipe on her website has all the ingredients you need. The recipe, the ingredients, all that stuff that you're going to need to get out of there. Ketchup. Right. And what else? Some parsley. 3 tablespoons of freshly, finely chopped. Well, I don't have fresh, so I'm just going to go in with some dried. There we go. About that much. 3/4 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs. I don't have panko, so I made these breadcrumbs in my Vitamix, so we're just going to go in with them. Panko breadcrumbs are normally bigger than regular breadcrumbs, but these are pretty big because the bread was fresh. 1/3 cup of milk. I don't have any cow's milk, so I'm just going to use this unsweetened almond. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll see. I'll tell you in a couple of weeks, right? 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Half. 1. 1.5. And then it says you need 1.5 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, which I do not have, but I have some basil. Go in with some of that. And we use the parsley, and then I think we'll go in with some oregano. Oh, we need paprika. I don't have that. There we go. Some oregano, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. Some black pepper, and then we need 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. There we go. And with that, then I'm going to clear all this away, and then we're going to mix this thing. Well, actually, let me just put this to the side because I might need this for the meatballs. See, that's smart. That's good thinking. Planning ahead, planning ahead. So we just mix this up, and then we're just going to smush it into a loaf shape. So I'll see you back in a minute once I've mushed this. Unless, if you want to see me mush it, that is a disgusting sound. Can you hear that? Are you as disgusted as me? It's cold. It's very cold. This definitely feels far too wet. Like far too wet. Look how wet that is. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna add some more breadcrumbs. I need a kid to help me. Or can I do it myself? Yeah. Oh, no kids. Get in there, breadcrumbs. Let's make this a loaf. I don't know. I feel so wrong. Yeah. And my meat for my, what was that thing called? Tacos. My taco meat. That's pretty much done now. So we're going to add in some taco seasoning along with, smooth you out like a baby. Along with a little drop of water. My neighbours must think I'm so weird if they can hear me. Like if they're out in their garden or something. Like, what is that woman doing? That's a little bit done. I actually only have a little bit of taco seasoning left. Okay, that was not a lot. There's some stuck in the bottom of the jar. So I'm probably just going to add some more in. Sky is very kindly in here washing dishes for me. If you can hear some water on the go. So you can use homemade taco seasoning, which is what this is. You can use packet of taco seasoning. You use whatever you've got. If you don't have shop bought, you can make your own with cumin, salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, maybe some green herbs. That's about it. That's all you need, really. Let's see. I think it needs more. Some cumin, some paprika, some garlic. Oops, that was a lot of garlic. Then we're just going to add some water. And let that cook, and then that's pretty much taco meat. That's it. That's probably the easiest thing we've done today. Well, actually, that meatloaf was pretty easy. That didn't really involve much either. I need some more water though. More water. Water! Now my rice is done, and I just have these little Tupperwares, and we're going to put the rice in it. We're going to put, this is just some drained black beans and corn. I put that in it. And the taco meat, and then I've got 3 and 4, and that's going to do us, me and Thomas, for the rest of the week. Thomas actually eats stuff like this cold because he does not have a way to heat up food in his van, and he quite likes eating this kind of stuff cold, so you know, whatever works for him. But I prefer to heat this kind of stuff up. Obviously you just got to do what you got to do, and then let's add in this taco meat with the meat. My kids are hungry. They're gonna have some of this and some rice in a wrap, and probably some cheese in it too, because you know that's what kids like. You could also add like lettuce to this, like push this down a bit and add some lettuce. I didn't have any lettuce. You could also, what else would you add? Maybe add some salsa. That could be a shout. I have salsa in the cupboard, so I would package that up separately, and then Thomas could like put it on his beans and his corn or whatever. Oh, I just spilt it everywhere. Oh, this is not my day. I actually have a terrible headache today, so I'm just trying to, you know, get through this day, be alive, cook some food, film a video, not have a headache. We'll get there eventually. In here, so this is the cottage pie mixture. I'm going to add in a tin of green lentils, which some people may be like, Paula, that's kind of weird. I actually need to rinse this a little bit out a bit more. And it is kind of weird, but it helps the meat go a bit further. And also, green lentils are good for you, and they count as one of your 5 a day. So, you know, eat some lentils, people. You can also even make like this whole dish without beef at all, and just use green lentils if you're so inclined. That would work. That would work fine too. Here I'm going to add in a couple of tablespoons of flour. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And the way I make cottage pie, like, this is a pretty traditional, like, British way to make cottage pie, but I've seen people before, like American people, again I'm looking at you American people with that shepherd's pie, right, we're talking about cottage pie, but I've seen people make cottage pie in America, and you guys use like tins of soup, and I don't know, like, it's more tomato-y based than this. Different. And then I'm going to go in with 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. I'm not measuring that, we'll say that's 1 tablespoon. I'm good with that. And then I do need more garlic again, but you know, I'm not doing the whole garlic thing. So we'll just go in with some garlic powder. That will be fine. And then most cottage pies, shepherd's pies, you will find they want you to use Worcestershire sauce. And I love people trying to say that word as well, that's funny too. Worcestershire, Worcester sauce. Worcestershire, whatever you want to call it. I actually hate the stuff, so I never ever use it. But a top tip, you can kind of replace Worcestershire sauce with other things. I like to use soy sauce, so I would say use about half of what you, so if you need, I'm going to go in with 2 tablespoons, so you know, if the recipe said 4, go in with 2. And a little bit of sugar, soy sauce and a little bit of sugar, but I think this will be fine without the sugar. And then I've got about 1 litre of beef stock, and we're going to add that in and let this like bubble and mingle. Then we're going to put it into some dishes and top it with some mash. So that's about it, guys. So we're almost in the home run now, guys. So we're going to make the meatballs. We have here the onion that I did earlier. I'm going to add in probably all of this. I'm looking for about 2-ish cups. It may not be enough. 1 cup. This should be just about right. So this is just the breadcrumbs again. And then we're going to add in, that's sharp. Don't be like the, yes, perfect. Now we're going to add in not quite a whole cup of milk, and yeah, normally go for cow's milk, but you know, and I would actually normally do this without the onions in it, but the onions were in the bowl, so this won't be fine. It'll be fine, don't worry. Now this recipe, actually, this is my favourite way to make meatballs. So as I said earlier, we're going to combine the pork and the beef, and honestly, it's just so good. It is so good, and this makes enough for 2 dinners. And I am going to what's that thing called, cook these meatballs and then freeze them. Then that way they're so handy. They're already cooked, you don't need to do anything. It's much easier, I think. So I'm just going to add in all my other ingredients. So this is very similar actually to the meatloaf. So we need some meat. So I've got a 500-gram packet of pork mince, get in there, and then I've got 500 grams of beef mince. Then I'm going to go in with everything that's left in this packet of cheese. This is grana padano, you could use like a parmesan, whatever. And we're going to go in with 2 eggs, 1, 2, and then some salt, some pepper, and those green herbs that I used earlier. And then we're going to mix this up, and I will come back once I've mixed this delicious mixture and it's ready to be made into meatballs. I've rolled out all the meatballs. It took me longer than I care to admit, and normally I make them much smaller, but I'm running out of patience today. Thomas is over here making me a cornstarch slurry for my cottage pie. Thank you, kind sir. But yeah, I'm gonna add some cornstarch, well, a cornstarch slurry in here, thicken this up a little bit, and then it'll be ready for its potatoes. So I'm just going to cook these in the oven, ignore all the mess. Probably like 15-20 minutes or so. You could fry them, but that seems like a lot of work. So that is the 2 cottage pies in these little dishes. I actually wash these little dishes. These are disposable, but I wash them and use them again. So I've done the 2 cottage pies with the mashed potato. Did you get what you needed, Argyll?
Yep.
What, do you want to show everybody what you've got? I think some people would be interested. What is that you've made?
You made giant jubilees.
Giant jubilees.
Frozen all the way.
Giant jubilees, giant jubilees. Yeah, yours is not frozen, Argyll. I've seen it jiggling about. Okay. You You enjoy that, wee man? So then once these are cool, I'm going to put the lids on them and chuck them in the freezer. Here's how the meatballs have turned out. So that is 2 dinners worth for us of meatballs. And there's about 30 meatballs on each tray. So all I will do, wait for them to cool, and then I will bag them up and freeze them. And that's it. They look so good. I tried one and it was delicious. So yes. But anyway guys, that is my video. So we got some noisy kids. We made 2 cottage pies, 2 dinners worth of meatballs, 2 dinners and that 1 big meatloaf, and then all those meal preps, and then the kids ate the rest of the taco meat and the rice for their lunch. So guys, that is how you can turn some beef into some delicious meals. Hope you enjoyed the video guys. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and I will see you in my next one. Bye!